Hey Slackers, it's May 16th, 2016. Over here on Engadget, I found an article I wanted to share with you. Scientists release personal data for 70,000 OkCupid profiles. Updated. Though publicly available on individual profiles, the data was collected without permission from either the users or the dating site. And this is by David Lum. It goes on to say here, a group of Danish researchers scraped data from 70,000 OkCupid profiles, packaged it in a data set, and released it on the internet. While the profiles are technically public, collecting personal information on such a massive scale without getting consent from either OkCupid or the users themselves is at the very least a breach of social science ethics, experts say. The researchers, Emil Kierkegaard and Julius Jericher, hopefully I pronounced that right, used software to automatically scrape profiles and then uploaded it in a set onto the Open Science Framework, a forum and repository for scientists to share data. The info was only slightly anonymous. While no names are used, usernames are connected with location and answers to the litany of personal questions OkCupid uses to find compatibility. Some of these, like political leanings or feelings about homosexuality, are quite private. As Kierkegaard repeatedly stated on Twitter, the data was indeed publicly available, but the scraping violates the dating site's terms and a possible legal matter. On OkCupid, spokesperson told Vox, and as Vox points out, it's also a breach of ethics according to the American Psychological Association, which states that people involved in research studies have the right to consent. Even Aarhus University in Denmark, where Kierkegaard is a student, publicly distanced itself from him and noted that profile data was not collected on behalf of the university. OkCupid isn't a stranger to mining its users for data and publishing observations on its now defunct OK Trends blog, but there are crucial differences. For one, the posts are summaries, not massive data sets with identifiable information. Second, and more importantly, OkCupid users give consent when signing up for the dating site to mine their profiles and activity. Update. The article previously mentioned a third researcher named in the paper, who was listed as a contributor for creating the scraping software years ago. This person claims not to have been involved with research whatsoever and was included in the paper without their knowledge. Now that more people are using online dating sites, and a lot of these websites are not necessarily closed ecosystems or walled gardens, as they like to refer to them, such as, Facebook, your profile is public. So a lot of information from your interests to your sexual preferences, and your pictures are up there can all be tied back to you, especially with your email address and so forth. Never let anyone fool you that, the data is anonymized. It can quickly be de-anonymized from what I've read. Now, you as a member, signing up with OkCupid as part of their terms of service, you agree to making your profile information and data available to them so they can use to, publish on their OK Trends blog. Not a problem there. But, the difference between OkCupid and let's say Plenty of Fish and then Craigslist, I know Plenty of Fish to some degree probably does a little bit of the same thing to see who's the top matches, what keywords people are using, what interests are, factors in people's decisions to hit someone up and so forth. With Craigslist, you really don't have any of this type of data. It's really bare bones. And so when you create a personal ad, it's just your picture, your headline, maybe your location if you provided that on the map, and some other tidbits that you put in your ad, which 9 times out of 10, if someone it doesn't have pictures associated with it, they're relying on an anonymity factor, and that's one of the great things about it. I don't know, or at least to the best of my knowledge, Craigslist doesn't collect any data or metrics on, what and how people are using their personal platform. But these are things to think of when you join these dating sites, because I read an article where Tinder had a snafu they use a social login which is connected with Facebook. So people put in their Facebook credentials, and somehow that data got, turned over, and it was showing everyone else that, oh, so-and-so is on Tinder. And so you can just imagine the headache and the confusion there, especially if you're in a relationship and, oh, you're associated with Tinder. Your significant other can see that, and it's like, what the hell are you doing on there? So these are the types of things that are going to happen as more data is put out there, more data is aggregated. And, with these services, they're really trying to tell you, especially like Facebook, if you're not paying for it, you are the product. And that is true. Facebook is turning your information over to marketers, and that's what that whole platform is for. OkCupid is using this data to, show compatibility and so forth for you, but there's also other trends that could be inferred from that. And like I said, you're making this available. But what do you think? What do you think about people coming along and scraping this information? What do you think about websites, using this information that you sign up on and conducting surveys and studies and so forth? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. The link to this will be in the description box. And that's going to do it for this article. I'll catch you in the next one.